Mystery Rider quarterly update.
Hi, I'm Yvonne Price from the
Are you sure?
I'll be presenting the information here on the Mystery Rider Wheelchair Accessibility Report, the fiscal year 2014 quarter 4 charts. This information is presently online. We post it within 45 days at the end of the quarter, and it was posted earlier this week. And what I'd like to do is present the charts to you that are found in the report. Last quarter I presented the report, and it was a little difficult to read because of all the language and some of the standard information that's presented each quarter. So we're going to focus on the charts today. First, the summary chart. The Mystery Rider program summary indicates that in the 4 areas of service, focusing on wheelchair service, service to customers using wheelchairs. The first item is the number of wheelchair pass-ups, and we show that compared to the previous quarter, it has gone up 0.1%, which we don't like to see. We don't like to see pass-up rates go up. It's a small rate, but we have flagged it red so that we pay attention to it and operations can take some corrective measures. The next 3 categories, securement procedure followed, is identified as a green box with a 0.8 increase in following the procedure. Wheelchair secured properly, also flagged green. That has increased 11.2% by our operators, which is a pretty large number. And the last item on the chart, lap shoulder belt offered, that increased 18.4%. It is also flagged green. I believe that the wheelchair securement and the lap shoulder belt offering may be very closely related to a bus operator training program, which is now underway. In fact, Jess Segovia helped to create that training program in cooperation with the operations training folks. And it's a very intensive hands-on process where 6 different types of wheelchairs, including scooters and electric or power chairs and other different permutations of mobility devices, wheelchairs, are used by operators hands-on, shown where wheelchair securement is best on those wheelchairs, how they're secured on the different kinds of securements on our buses, and so on. So it's a very intensive course. It's over 8 hours, I believe. So I think we're starting to see some results of that. The next chart is specifically the pass-up chart. The question that is on the Mystery Rider survey is, did the operator pass up any customers in wheelchairs? And looking at the chart, you can see that there's a red or a pink line and then a black line. The pink line identifies the 3/4 moving average, and the black line indicates the yes responses to that question. So again, the question is, did the operator pass up any customers in wheelchairs? We show the red line with the black line so that you can see the trend. It kind of evens out the ups and downs. We like to demonstrate where the trending is going so we can get ahead of trending that's going in a negative direction, or we can reinforce positive activities when we see it going in a positive direction. You can see that in this case, the chart to the left shows 0%, 2%, 4%, 6%, and so on, all the way up the chart. And this is falling in the 4% range. In fact, for the quarter, it's 4.1%, which is a little bit higher than we've seen in prior months. So pass-ups are a concern, and it's something that operations is going to be paying attention to. The chart on the bottom. Yes.
I'd like to ask a question. Do you have any numbers on the number of wheelchairs that are reported being passed out.
This is the next, or the chart that's on the bottom there. For the quarter, the total numbers of responses is 463. So out of 463 boardings of people with wheelchairs, there were 19 that were actually passed out. It should be attempted boardings, 19 were passed out.
That's
So
pretty
that
good.
chart-
Are you keeping numbers on non-wheelchair pass-ups?
Not for our purposes, not for the Mystery Rider survey purposes, because the Mystery Rider program is focused on people who use wheelchairs and people who are disabled. I believe our, I don't know if our ATMS captures that information. That's information bus operators would need to provide as part of their bus stop service.
Okay, but, so you're only looking at wheelchairs? You're saying and disabled, but I'm not hearing anything about people with disabilities.
The charts that we provide to the public, which are online, are focused on wheelchair or service to customers in wheelchairs. That's true.
Okay, so other disabilities are not being included in this report?
In this question. So the question is, did the operator pass up any customers in wheelchairs? So it's necessarily focusing on customers who use
Okay,
wheelchairs.
my question, is the report focused on people with disabilities other than wheelchair accommodated disabilities?
This report is focused on customers who use wheelchairs.
Oh, only, okay, thank you.
The survey that the Mystery Riders use include a lot of other kinds of questions. There's safety questions, there's other questions like how many people are waiting to board and so on, but that's not part of the report. Let me go ahead to the next question that's reported, and that would be securement issues. And the first item reported, the question is, did the operator comply with Metro's operating procedure for wheelchair securement? You may be familiar with the 5-step procedure that operators are required to follow. They need to ask people to move from seats, they need to prepare the wheelchair securement area, they need to provide assistance, offer the lap and shoulder belt, etc. And as you can see, there's the pink or red trending line, and then there's the black line that shows numbers. And the trending is in a positive direction. It's heading in an upward direction. It's a nice, slow, upward trending. And so we show that 96.2% of operators complied with the procedure, and that it's just a slowly upward moving figure you can see through the past quarters. So this is actually probably also reflective of the training, but certainly we're heading in the right direction and have been for a long time. As to the numbers, then, the total number of responses in the survey was 423. Out of 423, 407 times the operator complied with the procedure, and 16 times they did not. Now, the procedure is a multi-step procedure. If there is even one part of that procedure that isn't followed, it's marked as no, they didn't follow the procedure. So part of what we're doing, actually, Jess, is spearheading this. We're improving our survey so we can drill down to more specific information and have operations be able to address the exact problem areas. The next item in the report is, again, a securement issue. The second question is, was the wheelchair secured properly? And you can see from this chart that although the procedure is followed, whether it's done properly or not shows in this chart. And sometimes it's not done properly. There is some difficulty for operators remembering whether it's 3-point or 4-point securement. We are training now on 4-point securement. However, our new buses that are coming out offers a 3-point securement. So I anticipate that we'll run into those problems once in a while, but operators are being trained, as mentioned, on all of the equipment, and we hope that we'll see continued positive trend. As you can see at the end of the chart, the last three black marks are, one was pretty low. It was in the 70% range, but it went up significantly the third quarter and the fourth quarter. The trend line now will start to move up to catch up with that. So presently we're at 88.8% of operators securing the wheelchairs properly. Out of a total of 403 instances, there were 358 that were followed properly and 45 that were not. And please remember that the wheelchair securement is up to the person who is using the wheelchair. The operator is to offer the securement. If the person declines it, then the operator must step aside and continue to do his other work. The next
Yvonne,
chart, yes.
in that situation, how is it scored?
The question is, was the wheelchair secured properly? If the customer declines, wheelchair securement is marked not applicable, and it's not counted. Moving on to the third securement issue, did the operator use the did the operator offer use of the lap shoulder belt? This one is heading in a positive direction, as you can see. The red line shows a little bit of a curve up and a little bit down recently, but it's curving right back up. Right now we're in the 68.4 percentile, and out of 376 instances of the lap shoulder belt offer that was required to be made, 257 were made and 119 were not. So this is an area which continues to require bus operations to focus out at the divisions. And again, the general or the enhanced training that's being offered is really focusing on this. We've gone through several divisions, I believe, but we haven't implemented it system-wide yet. Eventually, all divisions will have training in this, and we should see the numbers increase. The next, and it's the last chart that we present, it's the discourteous treatment question. Operators' treatment of customers using wheelchairs. The choices are either excellent, which means exceptionally courteous and helpful, and on the chart you can see that 3.5% of operators were rated excellent by the Mr. Ryder surveyors. And good would be normal, acceptable interaction, and this is identified as 94.9% of operators. Now, the total of good and excellent is, it's 98.4%, so I think that's very, very good. And then poor, which is discourteous treatment, is 1.6%. So we like to see the green, which is excellent, increase in size. We like that the good, the blue part of the circle, is a nice large chunk of the circle. The poor, which is the red sliver in the circle, we'd like to see that decrease, of course. So those are our numbers that we're presenting. It's based on the Mr. Ryder surveys, and if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer.
Thank you.